Welcome everybody on YouTube. Welcome to the Scotchy Bourbon Boys studios. I have to clean up the mess. I'm going to put you up for the live podcast of the challenge coin tonight. The bourbon challenge coin, the challenge coin. I got the history. I got everything. Plus CT might be joining us tonight. So I've got it all. It's not going to be, if he doesn't join us, he's going to be on that screen right there. So if he doesn't join us, I'll switch the camera around a little bit. But thank you, everybody. Welcome to, I'm pretty sure, I got to make sure that the sound's working. Once I get that done, we'll get up and running. And I'll do our promotion. Everybody knows the promotion of our podcast, of our sponsors. I'll whip through that real quick. I'm going to YouTube just to make sure everything's happening. Here we go. All right. And I will monitor the comments on YouTube. Yep. We're up and running. Thank you, Alonzo. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming in tonight. Everybody on, I'll do the welcome. Let me do this. Welcome everybody to the Scotchy Bourbon Boy podcast for the challenge coin. Please let me know what you're sipping on tonight and where you're from. There we go. Put that out. All right. I will load it here so I can monitor it. And we'll quick do our thing now that we're on. Hey, all right. Let's put this off. All right, everybody. The Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Like I like to do this for because the audio, that's not a problem. We're going to get that started soon. In a couple minutes. Let's see. What did you do? Oh, should I do the 117 or birthday bourbon? I would do the 117 because birthday bourbon, it's not your birthday, it's your graduation. So I'd stick to the 117. I like it. The birthday bourbon isn't always as good. The presidential, I would do the presidential. I think that's one of the better ones that I had. I love the banana on that. Well, anyways, folks, our sponsors, real quick, Whiskey Thief Distilling Company in Frankfort, Kentucky. I am not I did look at, and I had seen some pictures of the river or the creek that runs behind Whiskey Thief, and it looks like they were getting some flooding too. But I don't think it flooded. They were right in the middle of the rainstorm, still crowded and servicing all the people on the Bourbon Trail. So that's awesome. But Whiskey Thief Distilling Company in Frankfort, Kentucky on the Three Boys Farms. That distillery is awesome. And honestly, let's see. Honestly, let's just keep going on that. It is a barrel pick all day, every day. For the price of admission, you can come down to the distillery on the Three Boys Farms where they do. It's basically great farm to your glass, farm to glass whiskey. They pot distill it there. You got Kelly and Derek, their master distillers. You got Walter, their owner. And you walk in there, there's 5 barrels to choose from. And you basically get to, for the price of admission, get to taste all 5 of them. Even go back, maybe taste another one. If you decide you like one, you can bottle your own 750 or the 375 like I did. And remember, it is an uncut, unfiltered experience. The people there are fantastic. It's like you truly feel that you're a part of what they're doing and a part of their family. So Whiskey Thief Distilling Company in Frankfort, but then also you could check out their tasting room they just opened in Louisville in the Nulu area. You got to check that out. It's still a podcast all day, every day. So here we go. Hey, Nathaniel, good to see you too. Yep, challenge coins. All right, so also Middle West Spirits in Columbus, Ohio are doing some fantastic things. You could check them out at their craft distillery right now. They are running their column still 24/7 there, and then also their craft size column still there 24/7. Plus they have the service bar restaurant, fantastic fine dining. but they've just built a Jim Beam-esque distillery. It's absolutely huge. Nothing like it in the state of Ohio. And they are producing now for about a year. So fantastic spirits are coming out. And their Miquelon line at cask strength is something that I highly recommend. And we love Middle West spirits down there in Columbus, Ohio. The Spirit of French Lick. This is our current barrel pick, the Lillian Sinclair. This is a fantastic pick. What they do, Alan Bishop used to be the distiller down there, but his whiskey's still there, and it's fantastic. So if you're in the French Lick area, you got to stop in, pick up a couple bottles. But this Lillian Sinclair, this is his passion project. It just won gold at the New Orleans Bourbon Festival for best bourbon under 2 years, or best bourbon under 4 years. So fantastic bourbon. This Lillian Sinclair was the last barrel pick that Alan did, and the last time he was in the distillery. He's now at Old Homestead Distillery, and he's making stuff. He's been there for about a year now, and it's all going in barrels, and he's making sunshine and moonshine. But Alan Bishop is a sponsor of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. His One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute on YouTube, you got to check it out. Alan talks about everything about home distilling, yeast, grains, fungus, everything, anything to do with distilling, and he'll take your questions. So check that out, One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute on YouTube. And then also, if you have ghosts, you have everything. One of my favorite podcasts. It takes the best of the spirits industry and the stories of spirits within, and sightings and ghost sightings and different things within the industry itself, the occult, all the difference in the history. And that's one thing that whiskey has. It's a part of our history, and there has been many things. So check out, if you have ghosts, you have everything. Then just remember, I'd like to throw this in. Jason Giles is pick Rosewood Bourbon and Rye. If you see it on the shelf, pick it up. It's getting less and less, but Jason is working day and night to bring it back onto the shelf. So check out Rosewood Bourbons and Ryes. Well, there we go. So we're ready to get this thing started. What you're going to do is, everybody on YouTube, you're going to hear a 30-second. I tried to wait for CT, but it don't look like it's happening again, does it? All right. You're going to have a 30-second. I got to get this up right here. Make sure it's working. Yep. 10-4, 10-4. Yep. You're going to have a 30-second while this plays, and then you're going to hear our theme song, and we will get ready to go on this challenge coin night. I've got the challenge coins. You can see them right there. They fell off. All right. Anyways, challenge coins. I'm going to tell you about the different challenge coins. I'm going to tell you about a little bit about the history, the etiquette, and everything that goes about it. By the end of the night, you're going to know what a challenge coin is and how it's used. All right. Here we go. What? All right.
Drinking bourbon, sipping on some scotch. We get a little wild, but it's sure fun to watch. what we do with drinking every brew, and we talk songs, but we're telling the truth. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, raising some hell, making some noise. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, we're here to have fun and we hope you enjoy. We're here to have fun.
Woo! All right. Welcome back to another podcast of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Tiny here tonight. I might be switching the camera for YouTube. It's just me on Facebook, obviously, because I got set up 2 microphones, and CT said he was going to do everything he possibly could to make it here tonight. But obviously, he might join us a little bit later. But tonight's podcast is about challenge coins. And I have a bunch of them here, a couple here. I got it all. I'm going to go into the history of it, but if so, CT hasn't come, but we've got El Presidente on, Randy Prass, who will be on Thursday night. I want to tell everybody everything that you need to know about this year's Kentucky Bourbon Festival. If you have questions, Randy's going to be there. We're going to do it, but also he has issued many coins. Now, I don't think the challenge doesn't go with them, but I was thinking that, us people who attend the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, we might come up with a challenge for the coin for the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, but there's other coins and festival or other things that coins that I have that I use the challenge. I've learned a lot about it too. So tonight I will be going over the history. I will go over the etiquette, and then also some other specific things about the challenge coin that I just got and the different ways clubs can do it and whatnot. But I will go through that. But remember, www.scotchybourbonboys.com for all things Scotchy Bourbon Boys. We've got Glenn's. We've got T-shirts. This Scotchy Bourbon Boys, Glenn Cairns, talk to me. You're interested in one, let me know. I will ship it to you direct. Same thing with T-shirts. I mean, who doesn't want this? I mean, I love the Scotchy Bourbon Boys T-shirts, and I just buried the microphone there. And so check that out. You can check it out on the website or contact me direct, Facebook, YouTube. Just let me know, and I will get you hooked up with that. All right. We are also on all the all the social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X, and then we're also on all the major podcast formats: Apple, iHeart, Spotify. Anyone that you listen to, we're there. But just remember, no matter where you listen or watch, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, leave good feedback. We greatly appreciate all that you guys do, and we are monitoring on YouTube and Facebook the comments tonight. That's great. Let's see. We've got Alonzo Martinez from Texas, and he's asked me, why do I do what I do? I do it because I just love the people, all the people and the friends that I've made through the whiskeys and the bourbons. Keeps you going, and it's something to do. It's something I want to do once I'm done with my 9 to 5 job. So there you go. There's the question off of YouTube tonight, and that gets us going. That's going to get us going. First off, the first ever challenge coin I got, before I even knew, me and Super Nash completed the Moonshine University's Stave Thief Bourbon Steward program. And there was two. There was an executive bourbon. There was a bourbon steward and an executive bourbon steward. The first time that we did it with Macaulay Minton and Patrick Heiss at Wilderness Trail. They had a special one that we did when we were down for the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. Met a lot of people, but we did that one, and you get a little pin. My pin's upstairs in a hat, because anyways, this way I won't lose it. And then after you finish the executive bourbon steward class, which is at Moonshine University, they issued this challenge coin, and you can see it. It's Stave Thief. It's the first ever one I had. So tonight, before I get into it, one of the things that happened at that Moonshine University, which was very, very, very kind of cool to me, it was we had been doing the podcast for a little bit. Super Nash had become a part, Young knows, and we did a podcast on Old Forester. And Old Forester is known for a banana note, but it's also known for a pepper note that's in it. And so Old Forester is hit and miss for me. Now, a lot of the different, aspects of Old Forester in their different. I love their presidential batch. I love their 117 series. And there's and then the 1910, 20, all the 24s, all that. Plus, then there's their single barrel program. This one here is a barrel strength one. Some of them are, some of them are proofed down, some of them are barrel strength. It just depends. And so even the anniversary blend, and that's something we did. And if it's got the peppery note, I'm pretty much out. But if it's got the banana note, I'm pretty much in. Old Forester 100. It's not even bottled in bond, but it's just Old Forester 100 off the shelf. You can walk in. The banana note's fantastic usually on that, and I love it. Now, this one here, I picked up last year at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, which I'm looking forward to what's going to be there again. But it's the 117 series, and Super Nash got me some samples of this, but I never had my own bottle, and this was called High Angel Share. And I was so glad to get it, and it's so perfectly banana vanilla ice cream that it's 110 proof. It says, due to heat cycled warehousing in our unique maturation environment, I'm just getting it. The angels choose particular barrels from which they take more than their fair share. This whiskey is a small batch of these flavorful few, which developed unique, concentrated profile due to the higher than average evaporation loss. So there you go. That's that. I mean, I'm going to tell you guys, I had my glasses on and this shows that's even getting too bad. But look at that print. I don't know what to tell you. That's a tough one right there. This is riveting. Thanks, Randy. I'm glad that you know. So I'm going to that's what I'm going to be sipping on the last little bit of this Angel Share. You guys, that's a bottle kill right there. So put it up. I'll just put it there. I bet you it'll fall over. Nope, I won't put it there. I'll put it back over on the shelf back here. That one I'm going to keep. So the reason why I'm doing that is because at the Moonshine University, there was a thing where they did a blind tasting. And I had on the podcast done the Old Forester, and it was all over the place. I think I had the Old Forester 100, the second best that I thought. And then there was an anniversary, one of the 3 anniversary releases that was first. But then I think I had 1910, 1920, and then I had the Old Forester single barrels as the next one, and the last one was the other 150th in last place. So it was all over the board. But when he had us blind taste this, he didn't tell us the brand, he didn't tell us what it was. We started the blind tasting, and I was able to pick out the banana flavor right away, so I knew it was Old Forester. But there was 3 glasses in front of us, and I basically blurted out and got in trouble, but I blurted out that was 86 proof, 100 proof, and single barrel proof. And he got mad at me because I blurted it out, but in the end, I was right. So I always remember that fondly because I was the only one in the class that did it, and I was in a class with all the people from Luca Mariano. I was there with Kenny and, I believe Jen, and then they also had their marketing director, whatever, and so out of actual people who were going into distilling, I was able to, and then at that point, I felt like, well, maybe I can be good at the tasting part. At first, when you first start and you're a beginner, you're not exactly sure. So that's kind of like what happened. So cheers to that. That's what I'm sipping on right now. Before we get into the challenge coins. There's so many different kinds. When you look online, there's many. But what we're going to do first is I'm going to share the screen. Let's see if I can get this to work. I've been doing this, and I even know share. Let's see the challenge coin tradition. All right, here we go. Share. All right, there we go. So I'm going to quick read from this. All right. So it says it's got a couple challenges. You guys can see that. If you've been in the military or work for the Defense Department, you know what a challenge coin is. They've been an American military tradition for a century, meant to instill unit pride, improve spirit, esprit de corps, and reward hard work and excellence. The coins represent anything from a small unit to the office of top leaders, such as the defense secretary. I would like to get one of those from the current defense secretary. There are also coins made from special events, anniversaries, and even non military leaders. Many service members and veterans proudly display challenge coins at their desktop or homes, showing off the many missions they've been on, the top leaders they've met, and the units for which they've worked. But how did this tradition get started? I was curious, so I checked in the National Defense University Pentagon librarians and historians, as well as those with the U.S. Army Center of Military History and the Naval History and Heritage Command. Those institutions couldn't find any written record, probably because the challenge coin tradition didn't start as an official sanctioned activity. So I dove into the modern day oral histories of the world, also known as the internet, to see what I could find. That's funny. Let's see, get that off. Okay. The most common assumption, the most well known story that the internet produced linked the challenge coin tradition back to World War One. As the US started building up its Army Air Service, many men volunteered to serve. One of those men was a wealthy lieutenant who wanted to give each member of his unit a memento, so he ordered several coin sized bronze medallions to be made. The lieutenant put his own medallion in a small leather pouch that he wore around his neck. A short time later, his plane was shot down over Germany. He survived but was captured by a German patrol who took all of his identifiable items so he would have no way to identify himself if he escaped. What they didn't take was the small pouch with the medallion. The lieutenant was taken to a small town near the front lines of the war. Despite his lack of ID, he managed to find some civilian clothing and escaped anyways, eventually stumbling into a French outpost. Wary of anyone not in uniform, the French soldier didn't recognize his accent and immediately assumed he was an enemy. They initially planned to execute him since they couldn't ID him. But the lieutenant, remembering he still had the small pouch around his neck, pulled out the coin to show the soldiers his unit insignia. One of the Frenchmen recognized that insignia, so he was spared. Instead of being executed, the lieutenant was given a bottle of wine, probably as a formal reparation for his initial treatment. When he finally made it back to his squadron, it became a tradition for all service members to carry a unit emblazoned coin at all times, just in case. So not everyone believes that. It seems a little far-fetched that he would forget he was wearing it around his neck, but that besides the point. While the story sounds cool, Air Force Historical Research Agency archivist Barry Spink isn't buying it. He said he'd been told in the 1990s that the tradition started in Vietnam when an Army infantry run bar tried to keep non-infantrymen away by forcing outsiders to buy drinks for the whole bar. If they couldn't prove they had been in combat, the proof started with enemy bullets, then got a little out of control with grenades, rockets, and unexploded ordnance. So a coin-sized item emblazoned with the unit's insignia became the accepted form of proof. This tradition now is a coin check, is known as a coin check, continues today, hence being called a challenge coin. One more possibility. Spink also sent me an article called Coining a Tradition that was printed in the 1994 edition of Soldiers Magazine. It offered a similar version of the Vietnam story, the World War I tale, and one of the 1960s. A member of the 11th Special Forces Group took old coins, had them overstamped with a different emblem, then presented them to unit members, according to Roxanne Merritt, curator of the John F. Kennedy Special Warfare Museum at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. A former commander of the 10th SFG picked up on the idea of becoming the first to mint a unit coin for the U.S. military unit. The 10th Group remained the only Army unit with its own coin until the mid-1980s. Merritt said when an explosion took place and everybody started minting coins. So if you've ever wondered how the challenge coin came about, you can take your pick of which story to believe. This was written by, let's see, is it written by, let me give it, started by Katie Lang, DOD News. That's from October 17th. So there we go on that challenge coin. Let me quickly stop the share. All right. So there you go. From the military standpoint, that's kind of how the challenge coin came about. Cheers, Randy. Okay. So, wow. So that's even more riveting. I gave you 3 essence of war stories of how they came about. It was just for identification, and these coins were just minted. They weren't just thrown out there so anybody could fake it. So if you had that on you, now this coin, this coin right here that which this is what really kind of got me, because I belong to Bourbon Real Talk. Randy Sullivan runs that, and he does a lot of good. His brother committed suicide, and he runs a suicide, um, nonprofit to really help people who are depressed. I mean, he really cares. He takes it to another level. But he gave out a challenge. I didn't even have any idea. I post the podcast in there, and I answer all the people who comment. Plus, I do. I post, as everybody knows, I do reels and put the reels in there, and then I put some of my really kind of the cooler bourbon. I don't try and overdo it in there, considering we're there. But I got a I noticed on Facebook that I was considered a top challenge top contributor, a top contributor. You get that on Facebook, and that happened a couple times. So I got a call from the Bourbon Real, or a Facebook message from the Bourbon Real Talk team, and she asked me for my address. So this all of a sudden this coin comes, and you can see it right there. Let's do it to both the cameras. Unbelievable. It was, I'll have a little bit more on that. You can see that Bourbon Real Talk community, a really kind of cool thing based off of the back says top contributor and produced. So this works, and I'll show that to you guys on YouTube right there, and you can see the back. Really kind of a cool coin. So it came with this letter. Dear challenge coin recipient, so this is another fart. Congratulations, you now are in possession of what money cannot buy. You have earned a top contributor Bourbon Real Talk challenge coin for contributing enough to the group. That just doesn't work. For contributing enough to the group to make the top contributor list. These coins will never be sold and will always be free of charge to the holder as a reward for helping to make the community great. A challenge coin was once the only form of identification for a war pilot down behind enemy lines to prove his identity before he was executed by Allied forces who would have otherwise believed he was a spy. His squadron made a game out of keeping all times if you were seen in public. A fellow coin holder could challenge you to present it. If you could not, you had to buy the challenger a drink. Conversely, if the challenged person had their coin, and this is a little bit different, um, the challenger had to buy them a drink. This is because not having the coin could be a matter of life and death. We at BRT, Bourbon Real Talk, are not that serious. Although we hope you play the drink game, but we do hope you keep the coin on you. We will ask that if you lose the coin to let us know. It goes without saying, but please guard this coin. Do not give it to anyone else and do not sell it. Our hope is that you will display this coin as a badge of honor. Your contributions is in fact honorable. So show it off, use it as a Glen topper, and include in all your photos. We love to see the announcement posts in Bourbon Real Talk community, but ask that the announcement post not be made in feel free to post pictures in the group with the coin in view, and they are not object of the post. You should be proud to be the contributor. Lastly, always remember that if you woke up this morning and you were unsure if anyone loved you, just know we love you sincerely. Now that is cool as far as a group goes, and to be able to get that, and that's what we're doing. I'm thinking of doing something like that, and I do have Randy is an expert on getting coins made. So that's something I was going to talk to him about. So this Bourbon Real Talk. Now, the next thing is, so that kind of gets into the etiquette aspect. And so we're going to do this share thing again. We'll share that. And I'll hit share. And I should be able to change it over to the challenge coin etiquette, the rules of the game. So challenge coins have a rich history that some dates back to the elite flying squadron of World War I. Their use during that time might have been minimal, but the concept took off during the Vietnam War. Challenge coins are still popular today. While they often associated with the military, other organizations give out challenge coins too. To an outsider, a challenge coin might look like nothing more than a fancy collectible. It's true that these coins are collectible items, but they're also shrouded in real tradition. Challenge coins indicate membership in something important, and they are rules that govern them, and there are rules that govern them. Playing the game by throwing down challenge with a coin is something in which every coin owner should be familiar. All right, here we go. So there, Christian can make your challenge coins. Challenge coin etiquette. It's an honor to receive a challenge coin. That is why it is important to know the etiquette surrounding these important mementos. When you use a challenge coin the right way, you're contributing to a time-tested tradition that inspires camaraderie and membership. Here are the 12 essential rules you've got to follow if you want to play the challenge coin game. The number one rule, the rules of the game should be given or explained to everyone given a coin. It's rude to call out a challenge if you haven't broken down the way it works ahead of time. 2, coin must be carried at all time, and challenge can be called out anywhere and at any time. You can only take 4 steps in order to reach you. So it's got to be within 4 steps of you at all times. The challenger must clearly state whether the challenge is for one drink or a round of drinks. 4, if the person challenged fails to produce the coin, the challenge must be honored. It must be purchased. Each person can only be challenged once. 5, if everyone who is challenged manages to produce a coin, the challenger is on the hook to buy the drinks. Be careful who you challenge. So in other words, if you challenge someone, say it's a round, and they produce the coin, you're on the round. 6, never hand someone else a coin in response to a challenge. Doing so is the same as giving the person the coin. The coin can be placed on the table, and anyone who wants to examine it, anyone that wants to examine it is honored to return to its original location. So you got to put it down on the table. Otherwise, you can't hand it to somebody because it becomes theirs. Not that anybody would know that, but there you go. You risk that. 7, if you lose your coin, you're responsible to replace it as soon as possible, as you possibly can. Losing your coin doesn't absolve you from the responsibility to follow the rules of the game. In other words, you're buying a lot of drinks if you lose it. 8, there are 0 exceptions to these rules. They apply whether you're wearing clothes or not, so think ahead. Remember, you've got 4 steps to get within arm's reach of your coin. 9, a challenge coin is a coin. It's not a belt buckle or a bracelet or a necklace, so don't use it like one. The exception is for coins that are carried in a pouch around the neck. 10, you must control your coin at all times. It indicates honor, so you shouldn't give it to just anyone. 11, you may not drill holes in your coin. And 12, these rules apply to anyone worthy to be given a coin. Anyone who knows to own a coin, anyone who's known to own a coin, and anyone who buys a coin. So there you go. So there's the 12 issues. And come over here, share. I'm back. Obviously, CT's not there. So those are the 12 issues of the coin. So, I will say that I'd like for as far as I would like for the coins from the Kentucky Bourbon Festival to have, I think we need to have some sort of challenge. I don't know. I would think you'd think hard, but what's really cool is every year that I've gone to the festival, I've gotten a coin. And I've got right here the 30th, which was I believe the 30th was 22, was it? Or was it 20? I want to say, yeah, that was 22. And then here is the 23, which was really cool because I love the way the challenge coin you got actually with your VIP, you got 2 challenge coins so that you could display it front and back. So that was really cool. Now, Randy was talking about 2025. I don't have that yet, but the next time I see him, I'm going to try and get it. I got a Bitcoin or 2. The one guy says he's got a Bitcoin. Just picked up Jack Daniel. Okay, so some people are talking about what they're doing, but then this was last year's, the 2024, which I thought was a really nice improvement with the American flag. You can see the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, and then on the back it's gold instead of bronze like it had been. Now, that was the Kentucky Bourbon Festival ones. I'm thinking of doing a challenge coin, but I have to think about how to make it different from the rest. So we've talked about the Bourbon Real Talk one, but now let's talk about this one, which is I've got my Stave Thief hat on. I'm part of it says a Bourbon Steward. This one, amongst especially when you're down in I want to say Kentucky, you have to have this with you. Now, everybody has to have a certain thing, but this one I've been challenged multiple times. Super Nash has one because we got it together. El Presidente has one. Anybody who's been through the program, and this one feels like a club. Now, Bourbon Real Talk, I know some people in it, but I don't know a lot of people who have challenge coins. So it's kind of like I got to figure that out. And I was a contributor, top contributor, where there's other different ones for there's all different levels, and we'll get into that in a second. But this one, I really feel that this badge I'm proud of, and that I've earned it, and I've was able to really accomplish something as far as knowledge of how you get to when you go through it, you go through the distilling process, you go through and you got to take a test, and out of the test I got 99 out of 100. Now each one there was 50 questions, but one of the questions, so that means if you got one wrong you would have had 98, and I got one wrong, but I got it half right. There was 2 answers, it should have been 2, and I only put down 1. So 99 out of 100 was what I got on that test. So I was very proud of this and have used this the most. Now, one of the cool things is when you carry it, you have to figure out how you're going to carry it. You just can't put this in your pocket. Like it's going to hit your keys, it's going to get beat up. So I got myself this awesome personal wallet. Now, there's a lot of stuff in it. It fits my credit cards, everything. It's got a little pouch right here for my tagger and my cards, but it's got this zipper pouch. And when I saw the zipper pouch on this one, it just fits so beautifully right into this zipper pouch. And then I put that one in. I've got the Bourbon Real Talk one, and then I pick one of the Kentucky Bourbon Festival to take on me, so I always have one on me at all times. So this little zipper pouch zips up. Now that's kind of cool, but then not only does that happen, but this has a nice little button to flatten it out, and then when you finish off, you got the two buttons to keep it secure in there. So if anybody asks me, I've got it with me at all times because I'm always with my wallet. So that's really a cool kind of thing. So the last part, and I got one more last share. We'll share the screen and we'll get into the club and how they do it. I read the first part about what you want to do as far as being proud of that, but then I'm pretty sure this is it. Share. Yep, I got one more here to go. This is the Bourbon Real Talk Challenge coins, and it's about the challenge. They've got different colors, okay? So, really quick, you may have noticed posts that include a challenge coin that has this group's logo and mantra on it. This post is to explain the coin and explain how one earns a coin. This is rule number one, explain how it works. I hope it encourages you to get engaged and start to help this community push forward its agenda to connect people together through bourbon. One time I accidentally joined one. I walked past a table with some cool looking guys, and there was a real WWE wrestling belt on the table that said El Presidente. I hope you're still listening, Randy. There was a WWE wrestling belt that said El Presidente. I was curious, so I asked, what WTF is that? The guy said, that's my belt for my cigar club. I'm El Presidente. We made fast friends, and he ended up handing me a challenge coin that signified he accepted me as a member of his club. I said, what happens now? He said, you call me in the middle of the night and I show up with a shovel. He said, basically, it did something to me psychologically. I wanted to do something similar, but not to connect people to my podcast or community. I wanted it to connect them to the mission. As a result, Lindsay designed this challenge coin with help from Wes Lindsay had coins made, and we are now giving them to our individuals who do something that connects people. The coins are not for sale. You must earn the coin. They are not transferable. They will always be given free of charge to the individual who exhibits that they are an official force for good by helping people get connected through bourbon. There are 5 different coins. The black coin is the coin you get the first time you do something kind in the community. The red and the blue and the white coins are for higher level coins, but they are not publicly disclosed what the recipient did to earn these coins. Want to set up a system of payment or for kind acts, but instead hope that people look for opportunities to give without expectations so that the coin is a reward and not a payment. The green coin is a little different. Instead of saying official force for good, it says top contributor. Facebook tracks how much you are contributing to the community through posts, comments, and reactions. Without engaging content, this community would be not very fun. So we believe our top contributors deserve recognition. This is the first time someone makes the top contributor list, they will get a green coin. If you want a coin, get engaged and start giving up the community and giving to the community. We are watching, and don't be surprised if a coin shows up in the mail. If someone has done something you believe is worthy of a coin, use the below link to nominate them. This spirit of the coin dictates that an individual be humble to deserve, so they likely would not point out the kind act on their own. It will take the community reporting kind acts for us to collect the names of all those in the community that are coin worthy. The act does not have to have been in the Bourbon Real Talk. Any worthy act should be rewarded. If you have already received a coin, we hope it motivates you to continue to look for opportunities to be an official force for good. And who knows, there may be something higher level coins in the future. So that's really kind of cool. Let's get off of that now, and there you go. Share. Sounds like that we need a post show with Randy and Stacy. Anyways, that's kind of cool. Um I mean, it really comes down to um the coin, this coin, I'm proud of. You're proud to get a coin. Same thing with Kentucky Bourbon Festival, especially if Randy gives you the coin or Stace, that they're there, but and it promotes the festival. But at the same time, I think we should come up with a reason like this for the coin. There might be, you could give out coins to the people who promote it, the workers who worked hard. You could have so many different coin levels, but that's just something to think about. Same thing with the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. There's a lot of people who help out. I don't know how big we are, but that is in my opinion, that's a very cool way to reward people. I mean, it's not, this not cheap. It's a really cool, and I display my Kentucky Bourbon Festival coins, and I also carry the other two coins with me. So, uh, does anybody have any questions on these challenge coins? I I think I covered it. I think it's you got the history, you got the etiquette. I really believe Randy, and anybody else, I like the fact that if they have their coin, you're buying. That adds into camaraderie. It adds into a lot of stuff, and I think that's really cool. And you have to sometimes preface, um, you know, you have to preface whether you're buying the whole bar around or you're buying the person around. Now, if you're pretty sure the person doesn't have their coin, you might do the bar thing. But as far as that goes, crazy. So I've got this 117 Angel Share finish. I told you all that when I got this coin from the Stave Thief Executive Bourbon Steward, I was able to. That was the first time I really felt like I kind of was learning what I needed to do. But on this 117 Angel Share, the banana, it's like a vanilla wafer with the banana on it. Ah, it smells so good. 110 proof. Mm. Anyways, ah, but just a program reminder that we will be live on Thursday with El Presidente of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, the Randy Press, the president of Kentucky Bourbon Festival. We will be talking about all the changes that have happened this year, all the things that are what you need to know. In the past, we didn't have the active uh, questions. So on Thursday night, if you're coming to the festival or you want to know something about the festival, all the questions will be answered. He has dealt with us, and we've done this podcast. I believe uh, the first time that we did this podcast would have been, uh, I want to say, of 2020. That was the first time that we did this podcast. We went down. and during the time, and we met with Randy, and the festival had been physically canceled, and we did a podcast right from our Airbnb. We went down, even though the festival was canceled. We went down as a podcast group and podcasted throughout the area with all the different distilleries. And it's become a tradition ever since. Then, in 2021, we are one of a couple podcasts on. At the time, Randy was putting up distiller or social media row. We were there, and we've been there pretty much. This will be our in person 21, 22, 23, 24. This will be our fifth one in person and our sixth with Randy. So we've evolved with him, and we actually went before we were a group. It's the reason why we became a podcast was the 2019 Kentucky Bourbon Festival and had a great time. So Walker said on there about coins, he being in the military. He said, I don't know why that. Yeah, here we go. In the military, usually it boils down to who has a coin on their person or who has the coin from the highest ranked person, Secretary of Defense, Chief of Staff of the Army, or a general. Okay, that's kind of cool. Did not know that. But with Kentucky Bourbon Festival in September, just around the corner, and the tickets will be going on sale April 16th for the pre-sale and April 17th to the general public. Randy's going to be here, and it just made sense to have him come in and do the podcast on the 10th so he can answer all your questions. All right, everybody. Fantastic podcast. Anybody on YouTube and Facebook, you can hang around for a little bit longer. I am about to I'm going to end this podcast on the audio. We'll get this finished. And then once I do that, we can talk a little bit on Facebook and YouTube. If you have any questions about challenge coins or bourbon, either way, I'm not worried about it. It's been a kind of a cool, it's like kind of like research. I did research. I think I was pretty prepared for this podcast. I was planning to do it myself. CT was thinking of coming in, but we miss him. I know Super Nash is getting ready to go on a cruise, so he won't be with us for a while. But I look forward to having El Presidente on with us on Thursday night. So make sure that you hang around Thursday night. But everybody on Facebook, YouTube, stay. But I'm going to end this right now for the Scotch. Oh, one of the other things. We have been challenged on the copyright of Steve singing the Alabama song, which is "Show Me the Way to the Next Whiskey Bar," and I have been fighting every single challenge and winning them all. So there you go. We fight for what's right, and I initially loved the Alabama song by The Doors. Jim Morrison does a spectacular thing, but I was getting hit by Facebook and YouTube for copyright every time I used it. So little Steve-O said, I can come up with something. He came up with something. You're about to hear it before we go out. And it's fantastic. And I'm so glad here, if you're in the Canton area, the Akron area, you got to go see him. He's all around the area. You look up little Steve-O, but we see him on Sunday nights at Gervasi. I think he's going to be here this next Sunday night. But we've gone and seen him at so many different places everywhere between Cleveland and Canton and Akron. He does a great job. Super talented musician. So you want to check that out. Let's go. All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight. It seemed to be a fun, chatty podcast with everybody leaving comments. But I'll just say it. www.scotchybourbonboys.com for all things Scotchy Bourbon Boys, Glenn's, t-shirts. Make sure you check that out. You can contact me direct. We have our William Dalton and our Lee Sinclair barrel pick. If you're interested, give me a call. This is now gold medal winning from the New Orleans Bourbon Festival. It's the last single barrel that Alan picked out, helped us pick out of the Spirit of French Lick. And so, check that out. And then also remember, we're on all the social media: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X. Hopefully, TikTok. I'm just waiting for that deal to go through. Once it's American owned, we'll see. I'll get back on TikTok. And then also all the major podcast formats: YouTube, iHeart, and Apple and Spotify. So check us out on all those podcasts or whatever way you listen or however way you watch us. Remember, like, listen, comment, subscribe, and leave good feedback. Remember, good bourbon equals good times and good friends. Remember, don't drink and drive, drink responsibly, and live your life uncut and unfiltered. And little Steve-O will take us out.
Oh, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't.
Up. Let's try that again.
Oh, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if we don't find the next whiskey bar, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you, I tell you, I tell you we die.
All right, let me just get this saved. Everybody on Facebook and YouTube, I'll hang around a little bit. We can talk a little bit. I wanted to maybe talk a little bit about the Old Forester a little bit further. I've got the Blackjack Liquor 2024, which is Walker. So let me just file, publish to, uploading. Nope, I don't want to do that yet. I want to audio magic clarity and improve. Okay, file, publish to, uploading. We'll call it CC. Yeah. So it's something I might do. We'll see. CC and documents. No, not documents. We want to save this to the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. All right, hit. No, I picked. Come on, Scotchy Bourbon Boys. All right, save. All right, I'm saving. All right. We've got a lot of we had a lot of what would you say? Where's that? Okay, we had a lot of external stuff happening tonight. Cheers, Patrick. Thanks for joining us. And then anybody on YouTube, I can actually pull this over here and just put it up. There we go. I can watch it from here. See if anybody. There wasn't a lot on YouTube. Oh yeah, okay, that wasn't that bad. So what's everybody? I think that's a. What did everybody think of the podcast? Was that informative of what a challenge coin is? That's a question. And then, I mean, I think getting this from. I just wanted to cover it. It's about everything, isn't it? About all right. So you want me to send? Yeah, I could do like 15 minutes, guys. I'll put it up there. I think it's still in my copy paste. Just hit it right here. Sure. And what's that? That's my keyboard. I got to hit the control. Thank you, Sarah, for saying that. Thanks for watching. Can't wait for the bus tour. Control B. Right, Control B. Control B. Nope, I got to copy again. All right, I know where it is. I can do this. Yeah, let's get out of that challenge coin. What's new in the App Store? I don't know why I need that. I don't. Let's go to Zoom. It's got to be in here. Down here, around here. There it is. Oh, no. Now I'm just flailing around. I mean, come on. Where is it? What's new? There it is. I'm seeing it. I'll come over here and get the invite. Copy invitation. All right, here you guys go. Whoever wants to join us, feel free. Control V. There it is. Return. It's up. Anybody who wants to jump in on the meeting, feel free. I don't know if that link would work on you. Oh, I can't get it to my phone. I'd have to that would be a hard feat to be able to share that right now to my phone. But anybody who wants to join in, there it is. It's there. All right. My stuff's saved right here. I'm gonna start. I could put away the basic package of the podcast. There it is. Randy's joining us. Thank you. Hey, Randy.
Hello.
I have it on single. I'll put it on gallery view.
Yes.
There we go. I
Hello.
don't.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Gallery. You should turn me down though, because I can hear you. I can hear me.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Is that me or you? You should turn me down though, because I can hear you. I can hear me.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Is that me or you?
Turn me down though, because I can hear you. I can hear me. Hello. Can you hear me?
Is that you?
Me or you?
I'll tell you. Yes, definitely. You have to unmute yourself once you turn down your computer or your whatever the internet part. Are you there? Yourself once you turn down your computer. I can hear you. I can hear myself. The internet part. Are you there? Yourself once you turn down your.
It's ringing back. I don't know what.
Because you're probably. Were you watching it on Facebook?
No. Yes, actually.
That's what that is. That's Facebook.
Okay, I'm off of Facebook.
Yeah, it stopped.
Okay, now I don't see us. So let me down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry.
No,
I was looking at my phone. It wasn't on my phone, but I still had it on Facebook otherwise.
Don't think I didn't learn that. I learned that.
The hard way.
Yeah, it's just like, what's going on? There's Walker. Walker's going horizontal. He's going horizontal, right, Walker? You're gonna go horizontal.
That's right. Let's see if I can make. Oh yeah, get a little bit there.
Yeah, I wish I would have opened my 1924 instead of my 117. Because I haven't opened. I've had 4 or 5 1924s, but I've never opened one and tried it.
So there's a reason I wanted to come on besides the whiskey. So that's my actual company one from one company.
Cool.
Another one. So here's the reverse of that one.
Nice.
Yeah. That was when I was a headquarters commander. And then when I was in Army recruiting, this is maybe a little bit. Let me take it out of the pouch. This one's a little bit too reflective in the pouch.
Did you
No.
Yeah, I've got one that was given to me by an Army colonel who is also a dentist, and I served with him in the American Dental Society of Anesthesiology, and he gave me one for that.
Nice.
That's a Panther, and then I've got on the obverse all of my different recruiting stations, 6 different recruiting stations from Georgia, which was kind of fun.
That is cool.
Nice.
And we've got one for our local graybeard bourbon sippers. We've got our own challenge coin.
Well, I'm thinking of one.
I think it'd be a great idea.
I don't know how easy it'll be to get it, but well, I kind of done that with the Crystal Glen. I mean, the Crystal Glen Club is kind of like the actual coin, wouldn't you say? I mean, there's not a lot of them.
Oh,
Not a lot at all. There you go.
I'm wanting to make my own Glen. And I sent Walker a copy of something I had Chat GPT draw up for me as far as a logo. I don't know if I can, I've got it on my phone. I don't know where it is on my computer to show it to you.
I believe it has a monocle. Did I get that right, Randy?
No, that's a stethoscope.
Oh, it's a stethoscope. I only glanced at it briefly.
I'll see if I can find it here and show it.
So Tani, I'm having a President's Choice. Well, let me rephrase that. I just finished a President's Choice. I'm not sure if you'd like it as much, although it may have been influenced by the Fort Knox bottle that I had, which was more spicy than sweet. I hope that blackjack bottle that you and I had is more sweet than spicy, if you like that.
Always do like more sweet than spicy.
Now, on the other hand, I owe Randy thanks for what I'm about to drink.
I've had some of that.
Yep.
Yep, you have, of this very same bottle. So has Randy. Thanks to Randy.
Yep. It's a good bottle. Thank you for sharing it.
Yeah, I didn't make the same mistake that I made a couple of weeks ago or a couple of nights ago. Actually, it was last week when we had a storm here. It's not my first pour, thankfully.
Okay.
How are you? How bad did it flood by you?
Immediately by me, not so bad. Within 10 miles of me, it flooded several rivers. So the town of West Point near me was hit very hard. I think around Bowling Green, obviously around Frankfurt, where you saw the reports.
Louisville I saw some areas of Louisville, especially on the like where the freeway is up against the river. Underneath that freeway was filling up and whatever. But all I'm gonna say is everybody gets so, and it sucks that it when it happens, because a lot of people, but I just can't see Buffalo Trace not having a flood plan for how to get open as quick as they can after they flood, because when you live next to a river, I don't care what river you can live next to a creek, you can live next to a river. That creek by Whiskey Thief, that was overflowing into the field. It's like when you live by some form of a body of water, it's not if, it's when. I mean, it's just not something that, people like, for instance, like Randy, you live in Florida. It's like at one point there's going to be a hurricane. Now, if you live inland, it's a lot better that you don't get the surge.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And it's going to rain. You're going to have water if you're in Florida.
Yeah, and it's just part of it. I mean,
when I lived in Arkansas, you were going to have a tornado. It wasn't a matter of if you're going to. You were going to have a tornado.
The same thing in North Carolina, though. That's where it was nice. That's where it was a little bit thing, because if you live in the mountains, you usually don't end up with a torrential flood that washes your houses away. That's not a normal thing for certain the mountainous area. Just not.
But that happened for the first time. It happened.
Yeah.
Near Asheville, and my people in Tennessee, right down from Asheville, they got their asses washed away.
I know. I understand. It's like that's not a normal occurrence.
Oh, it's definitely
so you
not.
Feel bad for those people, but like when my mom and dad lived in California, it's good. Yes, nice.
That's the one you were drinking.
Yeah, that is a good pour.
I
But
like the rum finish better, but I've got about 5 of this.
Yeah, I'm on the other side of that equation. I like the High Angel share better.
Oh, I'm gonna
But
say you
these
like
single barrels we've
the
got-
Scotch finish better.
No, I like High Angel share better. The Scotch finish is not ideal. Let me put it that way.
well, not to you. It's like anything else.
Me,
It's just
yes,
too
for me.
it's too who you're. It's just like if you like Scotch and you're got into bourbon, it's like you're gonna like a Scotch finish on a bourbon. It's gonna be interesting. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
just it's just everybody. All the people. That's all I keep saying is this is just this podcast is a guide for your journey. But everybody's journey is their own. I mean, you can't make somebody who doesn't like lobster eat lobster, and just like you can't make somebody who doesn't like one bourbon or another or a rye, you can't make them like it, no matter how much you like it.
I don't find it value added. That's what I mean.
Right. I like the Angel Share. I was so glad I got this at the festival last year. I couldn't believe it. How many did you pick up at the festival of the Angel? It wasn't even a limit one. You could have picked up as many as you wanted.
I didn't even
We
see
picked-
it there
We picked them up at the
Kroger.
Kroger
Yeah.
when we went to a Kroger opening. I picked up 4 there.
I'm telling you, it was at the bottle shop. Old Forester had the presidential, it had the 117, and it had some single barrels. I mean, it was like
I didn't get a presidential. I've never had a presidential.
I didn't buy the presidential either, but I'm telling you,
couldn't see
after I drank the presidential at Old Forester, and then I drank half of Walker's presidential when he was here, I would that is one of the 117 and the presidential are right up there. The birthday bourbon, it's a hit or miss. Last year's birthday bourbon, I was not impressed.
To be fair to you, Tony, you drank the presidential over the course of 3 nights. The party was only 1 night. We spent nights together down in Kentucky, rooming together, and we had presidential 2 nights in a row.
Yeah, considering I had taken that that tour and I had the presidential, and then you had the presidential, and then I drank it there, and then I drank it the next day, and then you brought it up to the Christmas party, and then I drank it there.
Let's switch topics real quick, if you don't mind. I am heading to Kentucky either tomorrow or Thursday. I'm thinking about going tomorrow night and camping out at Heaven Hill to see if I can't get one of their 19s. I haven't had the 19s. Either one of y'all had it?
I have not.
Are you talking about the Old Fitz?
Oh, the Heaven Hill
No.
19.
Oh, the Heaven Hill 19?
That's why I say let's switch topics. The Heaven Hill
The
19.
Heritage Collection.
I've had the 17, but not the 19.
Yeah, we both of us have
We
the
both had
18.
18. Yep.
All right, who's
Two
this?
bottles of
Is this going to be Matt? Because Matt loves to join in.
Come on, Matt.
Probably.
What?
I tried to call Sarah to invite her, but that looks like Matt's phone number. The phone.
I don't know.
See him
It
now?
could be Sarah if you did invite her.
Well, I called her and she didn't answer. So
Okay.
That's okay. We'll get with Sarah a different time. Matt, are you there? He's probably getting his audio.
I
set
don't
up.
know
Let's
who
see.
it doesn't say anybody's asked to unmute Samsung. They're trying to come in. Whoever it is, they'll figure it out.
so anyway, there's a Heaven Hill that I really like that Walker took with him this week. And that's the one they call the Grenade.
That's it's Elijah Craig. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, but it's a Heaven Hill product.
I know.
But it's a
Hold
200
on.
milliliter. You got one. I'm sure all of us have them somewhere.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
got
it
the
was
good
easier.
one. Let's
The
see.
good one. They're generally good as a rule.
You know what's
saying? You
that's
don't have
what's
the
up.
good one. The good one is whichever one's in my hand at the time.
No. The one I was able to get, which You know, it's funny, but it seems to be missing.
Oh boy.
That kind of crap happens all the time to me.
Do I need to reach back there and find mine too? I think I know where I have them hidden. I thought I'd locked them, and then I found 5 of them or 4.
It's not hidden, but I had it. Maybe and I know I didn't finish it.
Walker's showing his.
Anyways,
Another one downstairs.
Yeah, and I've
Just
got
around the time that Randy and I met, that I got my first one, probably a little bit before that.
yeah, mine are hidden down here in the corner of my 3rd bookcase.
The fact that that's missing kind of concerns me.
Do you have a place that you like to keep it?
Yeah, it was
I
always.
can see mine, but I can't get to them.
Hold on.
Got too many bottles to step over.
Yeah, don't do that, Randy. Don't hurt yourself.
Nope.
Hey, Matt.
Matt! Cheers,
How's it
Matt.
going, guys?
Good to see you,
I
brother.
can't seem to get this thing to focus today for some reason. How
Well,
are you?
we can see your ugly mug, so that's all that matters.
It was hiding.
Really?
I'll disagree
As long
with
as my
that.
head made it on it.
I've met both your wives, and Matt has. Well, Matt's a lucky man. Let me put it that
So
way.
you've met both of Matt's wives? I didn't
That's
know
not what I meant. That's not what I meant.
That's what you said.
Look at that one.
Not what I meant.
Well, have you met my wife?
I shouldn't say that. I haven't met her in person. We met on the phone.
Okay, but you haven't met her.
I'm one up on you, Walker. I met her in person.
Or not.
I think that's straight. It looks weird though.
You look fine.
Well, it doesn't look any weirder than you normally look, Matt.
Here we go. Now we got lights.
So tell us about that box. Because mine does not have a box. I'll give you that.
It was the Elijah Craig beer barrel finish. Came in a little special box that you dump it into. You drop it in. But this thing, right? Yeah, I mean, it's got a little bit different label. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll bet Matt would love that.
I
He
bet
has a lot more expertise in beers than I do.
Martin Kennedy came on, and it's a screw top. Is your screw tops too?
Yes.
I think. You're making me have to go get down here and get so I don't break my neck.
Matt, I was saying you have a lot more experience in beer than I do.
I do. I think I've had 1,400 beers at this point.
Did you ever complete the list at Winkin' Lizard?
I didn't, but I really didn't have to because they sent me tickets to come to their event, so I went down there anyway. I
Yeah,
have a lot of friends that do a lot of fun stuff.
it's what we do.
Right?
Matt, I need to ask you, did you get to enjoy that sweet wheat yet?
I did. It's almost gone.
Oh, good for you, brother. Good for you.
I love this bottle.
You know,
It's
that's
great.
what Walker, I was asking you what I ought to open. That's what I almost opened today because I've never. Oh, I've got 2 of them. I've never opened one, and I just think I would love
So
The
you
Baccarat or the
sweet wheat.
sweet wheat? I think you might. If you want to open it, that would be fine. It will not go with an Old Forester product very well, so cleanse your palate with some chocolate and some water.
I'll probably just wait till tomorrow now.
Or do something, yeah.
Actually, I probably won't drink tomorrow because I've got to reach out to. Oh heck, I got to look his name up. The guy from Whiskey Thief. If I'm going to be heading up that way, I want to stop.
Walter.
Yeah, I want to stop by and see him.
kind of look up Walter's name.
Got to look. You sent me his contact information. I've got to look it up and call him and tell him I'm heading that way because I told him I'd let him know when I was coming up. Would this flood have affected him enough that that this wouldn't be a good week to do that?
From the
So,
video that I saw, so the peak, So the first day that Whiskey Thief, when the floods were hitting the worst, the video I saw there was oh, that was my great. My microphone fell into. Oh, there it is. Sorry, guys.
Okay, we can still hear you.
No, it was the YouTube microphone. It fell into the box.
Oh, jeez.
I heard it and I'm like, what's that? And then all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, the microphone. So the first day of the storm, they showed the property and the creek on the side was flooding the grassy area, but it hadn't reached where the food truck was. But I haven't seen a post since, and I wasn't sure because they're in that area right there where if you go down that road, their road further, towards all the different, like when you go to Castle and Key and everything, I just can't imagine what happened there because I haven't, that road gets flooded easy, and with that amount of rain, they must have just had
Castle and Keys right near Glenn's Creek, right?
yeah, right there.
Yeah,
But
I bet David got hit bad with some water.
yeah, I mean, no, I do not speak Russian. A guy came on and asked if I speak Russian. I'm sorry, I do not.
Das Vidanya. That's good day.
Anyways, so this is Goose Island. So
We're saying yet.
they hadn't been flooded, but then the next day it didn't rain as bad. But that's when the rivers all swelled and it just went nuts. So I don't know what happened there. I don't know.
Any of you guys besides Walker had this?
No, I can honestly say no.
Matt,
No.
have you had any Etling?
I haven't had that one. I
Have
haven't
you
had
had
the orange one.
Is this
You know,
one?
I thought so I have a brown and a gold.
Okay.
Well, you were going to go get the Detling after I left. Remember, you told me you were going down to get it?
Yeah, I went down and did a barrel pick,
Right.
and we did. And I should get that one in the next couple of weeks. That ought to be available. They only have about 100 bottles, though, because it was a short barrel. I told him I would do without it if he needed to sell it to somebody else, but I think I'm going to change my mind and get it anyway, since it's
That's
one of
not a
those-
short barrel, 100 bottles.
Compared to 200, it is.
Yeah, but not compared to 72.
No, it's not.
I had a
70.
72 short barrel of Elijah Craig. Do you still have any of that, Walker?
I surely do.
That was a good bottle.
It is a good bottle.
So this Matt, this Elijah Craig was finished it's a beer barrel finished in Goose Island.
Oh, I have to try that. See, these are both Goose Island beers.
Yeah, that's why.
Mm-hmm. I have to try that next time I'm down.
Are you telling me you're out of Honey Barrel?
I was out of Honey Barrel. I got one bottle. I actually had to ask one of my guys who bought two for another one because somebody didn't get one. That I don't know how he didn't get one when I did the list.
Okay, I'm gonna leave a full bottle with you because I have a full bottle and a partial, or I'll leave a partial with you, and I'll keep my full. We'll work that out.
Okay.
Leave the partial so I can have a sip of it with you, because I've
Yep.
never tried it.
I still
We'll work it
have
out.
a little of the partial either way.
I probably have 3/4 in mine, so because I have so much Elijah Craig. I'm gonna put this over here real quick.
I was looking for it the other night and I was like not coming up with where it was, but it's somewhere here.
I've got a couple back to Old Forester. When I walked out, I had an Old Forester store pick that I tried and bought in Rhode Island. When I went up for my son's wedding, I stopped by a store I'll grab mine real quick. And I tried it and I said, this is good stuff. So I bought it and brought it back. Let me just know.
Hey, guess where I'm going tomorrow?
River Root.
Yeah, going down to visit Tom. He did his beer release that they had with Fatheads. 13 months and 2 different River Roots barrels. They released them yesterday for their 10th anniversary in North Homestead. So I went down there, Tom was there, and he goes, come down Wednesday, we got new stuff. I'm like, okay.
Wonderful. How they doing? They seem busy.
They are blowing up. They had to buy a place that's 4 times as big as them, and they're going to be moving to downtown Cleveland here within the next, I don't know the date yet. I'll know it tomorrow and the location. So
That's a smart move.
yeah, it'll be real big. But then it won't be so close to my house. It won't be, 17 minutes away. Now I got to go all the way downtown to go there. And while I'm down there, I might as well go to Masthead, right?
There you
I've
go.
got a question for you too. There's 2 job openings I'm looking at. One of them is in North Carolina, near west of Greenville, east of Durham, I believe. What's the name of it? Rocky Mount. In Rocky Mount, you may know that area. And the other one is, I believe, in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Which one would you take?
Matt.
Realize I'm in Florida for a reason.
I
mean, 5 months out of the year, I'd be in Cleveland because I like Cleveland. But, the other
You're
7
talking-
months, it's kind of cold.
yeah, and you're talking North Carolina compared to Cleveland, Ohio. What would you be doing? A form of dentistry?
Oh, hell no. No, I would be I would in North Carolina for sure. I would be the program director for their Masters of Healthcare Administration. I would be basically a program director at a college. Cleveland would either be teaching healthcare, public health, or being teaching healthcare administration.
I mean, honestly, Cleveland's a big city. So
Yeah.
if you want to get into like the it's like the like having to deal with administration and lots of bureaucracy, if you don't mind that, because you've been in the school system, I understand, and you know how this all works. But if in North Carolina and you're going to be teaching at a college, I think you're going to be it's going to be a little bit less bureaucracy than what you get in Cleveland, but it's all what you like. I'm not saying one way or another is better or not. If you like, like as far as administrative,
I'm thinking from a bourbon standpoint primarily, because I've got, I grew up right outside.
well, from a bourbon standpoint, you should go to Cleveland. It's not even a no-brainer. Honestly, there's you've got the 3 markets of Florida, Texas, and then you've got Ohio. And Ohio is working to pass up Florida because honestly, I don't know why Florida gets its reputation, because you guys have a lot of stuff, but because you're because you're not a control state, the shit that you get, you can get it, but you have to pay. And that's for you, that's not a problem. But in Ohio, you can get it and you don't have to pay.
That's a good point. Well, but North Carolina is a control state too.
Like I said, I would go to Cleveland in a second.
Okay.
See,
I mean, I don't even see how so North Carolina control state is like a sucky control state, where Ohio used to be a sucky control state, but now they're really good. Walker, what is going on that we're looking through some sort of did you put us in the
Packing
lamp?
up to move. He's packing up
I'm packing up to move. I'm also trying to fit a word in edgewise. I'm
Put a
trying to show
word in.
you why I have 3/4 of a bottle left of Honey Heaven. It's because I have like 15 bottles of Elijah Craig. There's
Yes.
11 in this one box.
I have the same problem. I had an Elijah Craig, had to buy all the barrel strengths, all the toasteds every time they came out until I had 20 bottles. And then I'm just like, okay, who wants some free bottles?
This is a fun one. So I bottled my own.
Yeah, I got those
Randy
too.
was there, I think,
I think so that day. Yeah,
in October of last year. I think we were there
Yeah.
together.
we were. I
Yeah, I
didn't
think
pay
that-
for the tour though, so I just kind of hung out.
Yep. I went with the Elijah Craig that day.
I went with the Benheim. That's what
Yeah, I figured you went with the bird.
the weeded the
And
Bernheim.
honestly, I feel like it depends on the day because I've gone with the Larceny, I've gone with the Elijah Craig, and I've had a day where I went with the
I always go with Roxy. So of the 3 or 4 that you get to pick, we always end up with 2 different ones. So she got the Elijah Craig the one time, and I got the Larceny, and then the next time I think I got the Bernheim, and she went with Elijah Craig again. You know how many bottles I've purchased for her? That
Yeah.
What's that?
I would say
That's
between
just
8
the
and 10.
B524 that I picked up somewhere.
See, he has to try the Honey Heaven because honestly, I think the Honey Heaven is one of the better barrel proofs I've ever tasted from there.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
wonderful.
I only have one bottle of Elijah Craig here completely, like just one. Yeah, that's it.
What
did
did you
find,
got,
like,
Matt?
That's
I
because
have a barrel proof from 2022.
Okay.
what
batch?
A, B, or C?
C922.
Okay. So you have a
It's under 12
C922.
here. I mean, it's not
I've got a
bad.
C922 at my other house. I think.
So I have a C923 that I'll work with you and CT on because it's CT's favorite batch.
And this is, of course,
Yes.
I like rye, so I got this toasted rye.
Good
Oh,
for
nice.
you.
I think
It's
I've only
pretty
ever
good.
had probably 2 or 3 bottles of Elijah Craig. I mean, I have 4 or 5 Larcenys down here because I'm obsessed with the Larcenys, but
Oh, I'm with you there. Obviously, I'm with you there.
Look at this.
Oh, I love that. Smart ass.
Is that your Oceans?
I can't read it.
No, that's the Kentucky Bourbon Festival pick.
Ah, I missed that one.
Oh, I
Nice.
like
So
that
this one was the one that I was on. I picked this.
That's pretty freaking awesome.
So that was
I
cool.
think we're gonna actually try to. I gotta fill out for tickets for the Kentucky Bourbon Festival here because I think Steve and I are gonna go this year.
Did you get the email today?
I didn't. I gotta sign up for this and get on there.
I'll forward you.
Yeah, we're-
I'll forward you the email. I think I got your email, but if not, I'll ask for your email and then I'll forward you what I got because each person from like if you do Cleveland on the Rocks, you got to fill out a separate their name, all the stuff, and a separate email for it so they get the tickets sent to them.
Okay.
So I'm going to do a single barrel that matches my Kentucky proof.
Well, I can't believe Walker, when we did the bus tour, Matt, Walker's like, I'm not sure if I got to wait till I get to Arizona before I ever can even go to the Kentucky Bourbon Festival or not. I'm going to try and do it. So I sign up the bus tour, right? I get it all, whatever. And then I tell everybody in the bus tour, and I've got Walker's space reserved no matter what, because he would definitely be on the bus. If he couldn't, we got people that could go. But the first person who Venmos me a deposit is Walker. I'm like,
You know what?
what the
I know why that is.
shit? Like instantly I do it, and all of a sudden I hit the button for the post, and you go 1, 2, 3, and Walker goes, Kurt, I hear the money sound. Cha-ching. I'm like, who's that fast? And it was Walker. Walker, I had to drag it out of Randy. And Matt hasn't even paid yet.
Yeah, I got it on it.
The only reason you had to drag it out of me is because I was up to my ass in alligators.
You know, Randy, I did not have to drag it out of you. I did not.
You want that other 200 today? I meant to ask that.
It's due August is when the second half of the payments due. I just have to pay the first. It's 50 down, it's $7,000, and I got to put on 3,500 basically by May 1st because it's on my credit card, and I pretty much just wanted. That's why I did the $100 deposit. But people have paid full and whatever, so I don't, either way, I mark you down. If the great thing about Venmo is every single transaction can be traced. Also, Walker, you got to get with Roxy before, because I'm coming down May 9th, 10th, and 11th. She might come with me, but it's going to be the 9th. I'm the morning at like 10, 11 o'clock. I'm going to meet Alan and Joe Lee at Old Homestead. Hang out there, do a podcast, and then get out and then head over to Louisville. And then Saturday, I'm going to try and hang out with Mark and Christy, and Christy's going to give me a tour of both places right now. And then we'll decide where we're going to go for the bus tour.
That's awesome. I still owe Jolie and Andy a bottle, so I need to go up to the Old Homestead anyway. And I don't know what my schedule is like, but I know I'm off the next week at the end of the week.
So if 9th, 10th, and 11th, you're still there, right?
Yes. I'm still here.
And then what? Maybe I was thinking just book the Marriott, whatever we, in what is it? New whatever. What's it? What?
New.
No. Where we stayed last time in Indiana, right outside of, what is that? Not New Haven.
Oh God, help us! I know what you're talking about.
Elizabethtown.
What?
Elizabethtown.
No, in Indiana.
No,
it's right.
Well, that's in Indiana.
Yeah, but this is right off the river. You can actually see.
Elizabethtown, is it?
No, oh my God.
The place I'm thinking of,
I know what you're talking about.
was right off the river.
New Haven.
New Albany.
New Albany. Thank you.
New Albany. You're welcome.
Yeah, because you can actually, from our hotel, look at you can actually see across the river. You can see Louisville from it.
You won that for when?
Well, it would be 9th. I'm going in the 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Not for Bourbon Festival.
Oh
New
no,
Albany.
New Albany.
New Albany, Indiana.
Yeah. I got a friend from there.
Did you have some, Matt?
Yeah, I just finished that one. I moved on to Oakland's 24.
Should I open that one up, guys? I've never opened
I think honestly, hey, if you're down here, Matt, and you like this, you can take it.
Oh, dude, that'd be awesome. I've never had one of those.
You've never had a grenade?
No, because Chris got Steve to stop, but me and Walker were talking, and I never went and got one when we were walking onto the Elijah Craig. I was like, come on. I totally forgot. And Steve goes, look what I got. And I'm like, oh, that's sweet. I'm like, I didn't get one.
I mean, people.
There are times when that's better than their thing of whatever they have as their feature. There are times when the grenade's a better option than that.
Oh, yes, there are.
What was our feature when we went? Evan Hill 17 or something?
When we went last year?
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
I swear it was the Heaven Hill 17.
It wasn't a select. See, that when it's a select, a lot of times the grenade's better.
I think it was either 18, Matt, or it was the William Heaven Hill
17.
17. So it was 18 or William Heaven Hill 17.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was pretty good.
I just
want to say it was the 18 because I already had it, and the 17 I bought for whiskey.
I just don't like the price. I just don't. It's out of my they're all out of my price range. 350, 340, 320. When you say 3, I'm kind of like I'm not all in. Are you in, Matt, at $300 a bottle?
No, I think I'd have to tap out. My wife would not go for that.
I've been able to pull that off a couple times, but not many.
Guys, I don't know how the hell this happens, but it does sometimes.
Oh, you have
Wait,
it.
you have
You have
three of them?
3.
That's awesome.
Randy,
You know what?
I'll prepay you for one from when I'm in position where I'm going. Fair
Okay,
enough.
fair enough.
I'll
but
prepay you.
I don't need 3. And I don't know if I got 3, except one was $49. So I
How
thought
many
I might
of
as well buy it.
So you sell me one of those angel shares? You got
I
5.
here. I did have. Let me see how many I got now.
I fucking like
You know what I
that.
find that pairs super well with that sweet wheat is that chocolate with the orange peels in it.
Isn't
Some
that
odd reason
something?
that chocolate. What's that?
Isn't that something? Tanya and I each had that 4 days in a row before we ever met.
Really?
Yeah.
What do we have?
23,
That's awesome.
Each of us had that 4 days in a row between Bourbon in the Air and the end of the Bourbon Festival.
I realized I opened one of them today.
Yeah. How many you got left?
Three unopened.
I got these 3 unopened and the other one.
Oh,
I got 3 unopened.
Well,
and the
that's
one
better. That's better than the sweet wheat where you only have 3.
Oh, but sweet wheat's twice as much.
yeah.
Well, that's true.
It's $7.50.
I find the 375s to be perfect. It's what I want.
They can fit in your pocket.
Not only that, but that's all I need. I don't need more than this. I don't need 900 bottles of 750 that most of them I take a sip.
Oh,
Right. The ice
that's
cream
my
social
ballpark.
over here.
That's my ballpark.
What?
Of the ice cream social, I can drink 750 milliliters.
I have a 375 and that's only got like a pour out of it gone.
I've killed the 375 of that, and I'm about to kill a second.
Now
I've got a
Booker's,
whole bunch of these guys, the 375s of these little Jack Daniels things.
yeah.
This one's
Oh man, the tequila barrel ones are killer.
yeah, this one's the straight rum. I've got the rum and I don't know what else. I've got several of them. Of course, I
I had
grabbed
the tequila barrel one last time we were in Gatlinburg, and let me tell you, that thing was awesome.
You realize I lived 45 minutes from Gatlinburg for 30 years. You probably didn't know.
Really?
That. I lived in
No.
Austin for 30 years and I practiced everywhere from Bristol to Crossville.
Oh, that's awesome. We'll be in Gatlinburg next weekend for Easter.
Well, that'll be fun. I guess I need to be home then. I didn't think about that, but yeah, that's Easter. I'll be home then. Otherwise, I'd be up that way because I'm heading up that way either tomorrow or Monday. I've got a gala, Bourbon and Bow Ties gala. I'm sorry, Friday, and I'm thinking about wearing my Victorian. I've got a Victorian formal suit that I'm thinking about wearing instead of a tux.
That's awesome.
It's blue. It would definitely stand out. All right, boys, here I go. Do I need to rinse my glass or just dump it in?
I would rinse it if you have water.
I got one next door in the bathroom. I'll be right back while y'all visit.
I actually peed in that bathroom.
Well, I'm glad you got to visit because Randy has a treasure trove amongst other things. Matt has a different one that I'd care to visit.
And
And
you
I'm
call
working
it
on-
a Trevor Trove, but he just left to go get water. And basically his office looks like it's a storage unit in the back of a liquor store. It's all, he's got one shelf with the ton
That's what I call
that he
it.
sees, but then everything else is in boxes on the floor. And it looks like they just started. And at one point there was nothing there, and he had a shelf. And over time, it just gradually keeps going up higher and higher.
What it is
There's
doesn't
comedy
isn't
bottles that
affected-
high.
Yeah. What it is not affected by what it looks like.
Yeah, but his wife will differ. Now it's so full there that it's gone out to the front. There's a front foyer where there's a table on the front foyer, and he's got bourbon bottles on the table, and then underneath the table a little bit, and it just is now creeping out into their living space. And I guarantee you, his wife is not happy about that.
And I've got bottles sitting on the dining room table.
See?
I've got boxes of
And
Blank
they're on the
bourbon.
dining room table, and that's where she works.
So this is going to sound really hokey to people, but this bottle of single barrel blows my King of Kentucky away. So my Old Forester honoring the military 23 Warehouse K 46 blows away my King of Kentucky, and let's see, is it one less? No, it's the same proof and younger whiskey, and it blows away my King of Kentucky.
What is it? What's the store?
honoring the
So-
military.
This is from Old Forester, barrel pick for Veterans Day,
Their
23.
2023 Veterans Day bottle.
Warehouse K 46 blows it away.
This sweet wheat's really good, guys. Thank you.
I'm
Yeah,
glad
that
you
bottle
like
is
it.
great.
I'm glad I was able to share it with you, Matt. Cheers.
Absolutely. I appreciate you, man. Thank
Yeah, you
Cheers.
got me. You did. What was the case that you had? What was that? A foolproof one where I brought up a case of 1792 and sold it up here for you?
No, we should have given that away because that was Christmas presents for CT and Super Nash and you and Barrelhead.
Okay, what
That's before he sold it.
where
Never mind.
I wish I had a 1792 vest. That'd be freaking awesome.
where
It
what was it? A foolproof?
was a foolproof. That's right. Yep.
Yeah, I got my 1792 back in this cabinet right here. That's the whole thing. I gotta get with Ross because he hasn't been on in a while.
Pull out of the box if you don't have that bottle. The bottle and bond box. I gotta pull the other box in a second.
All right, guys.
Walker, should I share the Saint with these guys
If you can, yes.
and us do a segment on that when we're doing our little small group or small distilleries, craft distilleries?
Yes. So he has a barrel finished old fashioned barrel that's bourbon whiskey finished in old fashioned barrel.
Here you go,
Pretty
Randy.
awesome.
You should recognize this.
Yep. Is that the double? I can't read it.
Yep, it's a double.
This is what he's talking about, and that's how much I got in this. I've killed about 3 or 4 of these bottles,
Ah,
and so it's that.
That's cool looking bottle.
It's a really nice bottle, and then it also looks like I don't have enough hands because I got 14 bottles of this stuff, or 16. I picked up another one today. Walker, you were talking about them being signed. He wrote me a whole paragraph on that one.
That's cool.
so there's
I
a
think you're a saint. We're basically the match made in heaven.
so all right. I'm gonna drop something on Randy because
Please, I'm looking forward to it.
let's see. Why is that bottle not there? That's crazy. Oh, there it
Is
is.
that something you picked up in Florida that I hadn't had?
Nope. This is
No.
something that you should appreciate because you're always getting those random bottles, right?
Oh, they're not random.
Yeah, they're from distilleries nobody's ever
If they were
heard of
random,
because
it would be this one right here. If they were random, it would be something like that.
have you ever seen this?
Of course. Yes, I've got a Hartfield.
Did this bottle?
I don't have that bottle, but yes, I've seen that bottle.
So I went. This is the 9-year.
Right? Yeah.
So they were doing the thing. So I went and did a podcast at Augusta, because Augusta from my house is inconvenient as shit. Because either I got to go west, go north, coming down, go down Cincinnati, come down around, come back up to Augusta, or I got to go through north in Maysville and come down to Augusta. But if I go north in Maysville, yeah, there you go. I got the Augusta old route, and
This one's the employee's pick that I have. You have the other one.
I got this one.
I just drank that this weekend.
And then I have the
Is
River
it something like
Pick.
this? I got 5 different bottles, 5 different barrels of that.
Yeah, so I don't have the 17, I have the 10, Randy, because they had a staff pick 2024. And that was my favorite of the ones we tried. We had bourbon slushies, and then we had, this is the staff pick 2024.
So there was this one.
Yeah.
So I first went here.
I don't have that. I got the 8 also. That's
Yep.
cool. That's cool. I like that. You
Yep.
first went what?
I
Let's
first went to Augusta. Well, I went to Augusta with Walker, right? And
Great time.
that's where Walker's 4.3 million view
Barrel thieving.
barrel thieving reel on YouTube does really well. It still pulls in 46,000, 23,000 a day. It's like Walker is famous now. I mean, I'm surprised people are like, you were the one in the video.
I guess I'm going to revisit that video then.
And then but I picked up this for CT, and I picked up one for myself when we were down, and this is the Kentucky Bourbon Festival pick from last year. So I got that. But when I went down, I did a Saturday morning podcast with Alex Castle. She's the distiller there at Augusta. And then I went up to this release party for the 9-year.
Is that all? That's 2 different distilleries, right?
Yep. This was the Augusta is one, and then I went up to the Hartfield and saw he was on the podcast when we were at Bourbon on the Banks.
Okay.
And then I went up and saw him, and I saw the distillery and everything. And this was their 9-year that they released, and they let you taste it before you bought it. But this one I brought home because Chris wanted me to get him one, so he Venmo'd me the money. But I then used the Venmo'd money to buy myself one. And then when I got home, I put it I hid this for like 4 months before I took it out and put it on the shelf. This was not cheap. This was not cheap.
No, I picked up a Hartfield when I was at Artie Source in Cincinnati, across the river in Kentucky, right next to New Riff, because the girl was there pushing it. So I picked up a regular Hartfield there. And then when at Kentucky Bourbon Festival, I met them, and they have another bottle that doesn't say Hartfield. It says something else, starts with an R. I don't remember what it was, and I bought one of those. You know what I'm talking about?
No. But
it's not that one.
It was really kind of cool because beginning of basketball season, and I was there, and it was a really nice, I think it had to be October or November, late October, early November. And the day was like 65 degrees and sunny, and the leaves were flying. You know what I mean? It was one of those days.
That's one that is just so beautiful. You should put that on your coffee table upstairs.
Well, it's on the main shelf, but that is beautiful. Yeah, no, my wife, that doesn't happen.
She drink it all.
No, she would not have. She even has the
decoration for our kitchen.
No, even the signature.
That would go underneath on the, I'm not thinking that would go on your peninsula very well. That
No.
should go on the coffee table.
Yeah. It is a beautiful bottle. It's a good whiskey too. And then he's out of Paris, Kentucky. So I got to go to Paris, Kentucky, which at the time was a big deal because Greg was still working at Chicken Cock, and that's where Chicken Cock Distillery was originally in 1849.
Speaking of Chicken Cock, you guys may have this one. Walker, I know does.
Yep.
The last couple of bottles of it.
Matt, I'm not sure if I got you a bottle.
But this one is just friggin' fantastic for 50 something bucks.
Where was it?
It's tell them it's 18 something. What's it called?
18
86.
86. Sounds right.
You
It's
mean
for-
the 18 circa 1860?
It's that little thing on the square in Bardstown.
Yeah, the circa 1868. I want to say 60.
Okay. That sounds right. But anyway, that's where we
1868.
got this. It was their store pick. And we grabbed the last couple of bottles. of
Well,
it.
that one, is that the one? Okay, so that has a picture of the circa 18 whatever right on it.
Yeah.
1856.
1856.
There it is, established 1856.
Yeah, it's written right there on it. How about that?
So Randy, no, that's a different bottle. That's a different bottle.
Is it?
That's the Fort Knox bottle.
No, is it?
Sure. Well, then hold on, because the other one's right behind me. Let me get it.
I have the Fort Knox bottle. I haven't even opened it because you gave it to me and Greg was gone. And I haven't had an ounce of chicken cock since Greg was gone.
You open it, decant it, because it needs a little bit of time to open.
It's the Commander's Choice one, right?
That's exactly right, Matt. That's exactly right.
Mhm.
And I can get more of it.
Walker,
probably have about
this
40
is the one I
bottles.
know we grabbed.
Yes. So the one that I had actually went to a chef at Amore.
You got that?
It went to Al
Yeah.
at Amore.
And of course, that should be the same thing.
Were you there without me?
No.
We
When I
were,
came
yeah.
to Amore, when he went and he gave us the Dixon Deadman
Oh, Jesus.
bottle, I gave him my bottle of Chicken Cock Private Cask from circa 1856.
Let's get Mark
We're going
Carter.
by-
Walker, these are all the same thing. These are all
Walker.
barrel-
Let's get Christy and Mark Carter to meet us at Amore on Friday night.
Oh, we need to do that.
You
That
talking
would
about this
be
Friday or on the 10th.
it would
So
be
you
the
have
9th.
Engagement in Knoxville.
Do
What?
Walker, what?
You told me you have an engagement in Knoxville, but I'm unencumbered.
I do,
Tony,
but
we
I
talking
can
about
get that
this Friday?
engagement away. It's only a couple $100 tickets.
Yeah.
What are
Tony,
we-
are we talking about
This Friday?
this? Or are we talking about a different Friday?
No, we're
think
talking
he's
about
talking
the
about the
9th,
9th.
May 9th, 10th, and 11th when I'm there. Because Christy's,
Okay.
we'll get Christy and Mark to come and eat at Amore.
You can do that. That's I'm totally free, but that works.
Walker, these all
And if
three
we
of these
finish
bottles are
early at
great.
Old Homestead, we'll just hang out at Starlight till. Didn't we do that last time? We
We need to eat some pretzels.
we
No,
got
you and I did
pretzels.
that after the barrel pick.
Yeah,
Need to get that Starlight cigar badge.
I think I have it.
Which one? This one right here? Really like
Can't see
that
it.
one.
Yeah, that's it.
Keep speaking, Randy.
He
I
can't
want
see it
that-
because he's so far away from his phone, but that's it. Hey,
It didn't bounce over to him. I think it bounces over to whoever's talking. I think
that means
Because
you.
mine
Oh,
only has one.
You guys should be able to see this in just a second.
There we go.
Can you see it now?
That's it.
That's it. Okay.
In Brazilian
That's the one.
Amberana.
Yeah. I
I love Andorrana. I don't know why.
you do?
So they had a beer that was called Organized Chaos that came out, and it had a maple barrel for 6 months, It had a bourbon barrel for 12 months and an Anfiorana barrel for 6 months. And let me just tell you, this is the best beer I've ever had from Masthead. And I missed the bottle sale, but they're releasing it in Heinen's in these bomber cans. And I think I might have to get one of those because it was one of the best beers I've ever had from Masthead.
Excellent.
I want to move south for a minute.
Maybe. Oh, all right. Laguna Madre. The one you gave me a wonderful sample of that I haven't cracked yet, which I will crack.
Look,
This is the most expensive bottle that Garrison Brothers puts out. And we were at a party the other night. I think I was talking to you guys on my way back from it. And Dan Garrison, who's the founder of it, was there, and I offered to share my bottle. And he's like, "Wow, nobody shares a bottle of Laguna Madre." So he told me next time I come down to the distillery, he's going to give me a bottle that's no longer available. He's saving a bottle for me.
that's good.
Ooh,
So that will be
That's
exciting.
awesome.
make sure he signs it, brother. Drink it, but sign it too.
Right. Well, he signed this one for me too. He wrote a dang paragraph on the back.
Oh, that's great.
That's awesome.
I don't know if I turn it upside down, then you can see the rest of the.
So the distillery is in Texas?
Yeah, it's in High Texas,
Yes.
about an hour west of Austin.
So how long does it take you to get there?
3.5 hours.
I mean, I got invited by Jason Giles to go to Texas because that's where Rosewood Bourbon and Rye, and he wants me to go on a boar hunt
Well, that'll
with
be fun.
with
That'll be a blast.
with the one brother from Blom Brothers is coming. The Blom Brothers are coming down, and they're going to go on a boar hunt. But if you've ever met Jason, you got to know what you're doing. Anyways, it's
As far as
10:30,
boar
guys.
hunting or as far as drinking?
Boar
We
hunting,
kept-
because you'll get it'll be a Vince Vaughn moment from Wedding Crashers where they shoot you in the ass.
We've
My
kept you long
son
beyond
did-
15 minutes.
My son did a boar hunt and an alligator hunt down here in Florida. He's showing you. You tell him.
24A. This is St. Augustine the Saint, gifted to me by Randy Ford, and it's finished in honestly, it's a cocktail barrel because it's a old-fashioned barrel.
Cool.
And then this is specifically for Matt. So this is the thing that I haven't gifted you yet that you and I may open together. So this is a Blackjack Liquors 1792 full proof, which CT and Tiny and Martin Nash, Super Nash all have. And Randy will figure it out. We'll have some together. But that's the 1792 full proof from Blackjack Liquors, which is delicious.
I just thank y'all
That's
for
awesome.
this. This sweet wheat is fantastic.
I love the
Yeah.
sweet wheat. Yeah.
Cheers, my friend.
That's one of my favorites all the time. I'm like, I love that bottle.
Cheers.
Yeah. I was like happy to get that bottle. I got it finally. It took me forever. I swear to God, at Kentucky Bourbon Festival, I drink like of what I drink there, 80% of it's I go to hang out with Ross and drink sweet wheat with him because it's at their tent the whole time. And every single
It's
time
incredible.
it's like you could just like just do one pour after another.
Yeah.
If
You
you
can
guys, if
say
you
that.
guys are like me, I will go for ages and can't find a bottle, and then I
Yeah.
find 3 of them.
Yeah.
It
It took me 2 years to find the bottle that Matt has.
took me 7 years to get my barrel proof Taylor. I was like 5th in line and there would only be 4. I'd be 6th in line and there'd only be 5. I'd be like 9th in line and there'd be 8. It's like there's one time I was so irritated and then finally I got one. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna end YouTube first and then I gotta get going because I gotta load this and I gotta work in the morning.
I had that same problem with the single rick house. I was 12th in line or 13th in line. They had 12.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching on YouTube. I'm going to end this. All right.